Let's chat about Sleeping Gods. Distant Skies. After playing a full campaign, if you don't know about Sleeping Gods, it's like an open world kind of game where you go around, try to collect some stuff called totems, and you want to collect as many as possible. And it's great because the narrative is fun, it's very engaging, there's a lot of different storylines, a lot of quests that you can do, like you're flooded with quests, like you could play that game like a million times over and over again. There's a lot of fun adventure cards, which is some sort of way to level up your gear, and the combat is much improved from the previous version, which is the normal Sleeping Gods. There it was a little bit frustrating when in this version of the game you're using some combat cards which are amazing. It really becomes a fun puzzle. Overall it was fun, but as I usually do, let's talk about some stuff that could be improved. For as fun as the combat was, it was way too easy, and I suggest you play on the hardest difficulty as soon as you get the game to the table. I guess that's a consequence of the open world because the developer cannot really know where you're gonna end up, so they don't know how difficult a combat can be for you. There is different levels of difficulty for the combats, but they are all way too easy. So they tried to make some combats more challenging than others, but they really weren't that difficult. And that's much different from the other version of Sleeping Gods, which is called Primeval Peril, where the combats were actually very complex. But in that case, I feel like the route you were taking to get to the final like showdown was really streamlined. So there was some sort of like sense of where you would go, while here is really like open world and they don't really know where you're gonna end up. Then, not to spoiler anything, but I guess the amount of totems you really need to reach the end of the campaign is way too little. And there's nothing really fun if you collect way more, because you're just gonna compute a score and you're just gonna hope you did well with the score. But other than that, it's kind of pointless. One last thing, what could have been the best part of this game was actually the worst, the riddles. There's gonna be some riddles in the game that you might wanna be solving. The problem is that these riddles are a little bit nonsense, a little bit pointless. Maybe we were too dumb and we couldn't understand what they were referring to. But even the explanation sometimes felt like so far-fetched, it was just like, how do you get to this solution if you're not thinking in the precise way you're thinking, which is like super weird. I usually love riddles and puzzles in games, but in this one, it just didn't make too much sense. So overall, super nice game, super explorative, chill, way too chill probably, but I'd say the best implementation of Sleeping Gods so far. Which is its own kind of game, it's very unique, it's very different, so definitely worth trying. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. Ciao!